Alright, so I was thinking of some video ideas a little bit earlier today, and I thought of something that I usually don't use, but also very commonly use, which is delay. But there's a very specific kind of delay that I normally don't use, which is this one right here. And the reason why is because I don't really like it, or at least up until now. But with experimenting with it, I have started to like it a little bit more. Also, another reason why I don't use it is because for some reason, this doesn't have it, even though maybe it technically does, but I haven't figured out how to get 1/3. Alright, so for the rest of this, I end up calling it 1/3, but after doing some research, I believe it's technically 1/4 triplet, although I have no idea. It could also be 1/12. Let me know if you do know, because I'll probably have to change the title of this video in vital and specific. But in here, it's fairly easy. And so, just as a quick example of what I'm talking about, this is regular delay, and this is that 1/3. So it's the same thing as 1/6, but twice as fast. And I usually don't use it, but you can create some very cool results, which is what this is going to be. So yeah, let's go ahead and make this sound a little bit cleaner though, and then I'll make a melody with it. That should be pretty cool. And I don't know what kind of BPM I want to use for this, so I'm probably just going to keep changing it all throughout. Kind of like that. All right, and I think for the first beat, I'm going to try and use this specific kind of delay on literally every sound, except for maybe like one, just to have some kind of contrasting element. But I do feel like strictly using 1/3 delay is something that I've never done, which is kind of interesting. And now that I think about it, I'll use just this one sound with the 1/6, which is technically the same thing as 1/3, but obviously half as fast. Now I want to try using more of these sorts of things where, you know, the pitch goes really high and then you take it down really, really fast. And this sound, I feel like, just really needs to be reversed. I also really wouldn't mind a reverse layer of this pretty cool lead. Alright, now that I have all these extra layers, I feel like I could add a couple of extra things to it. Alright, I guess I'll try to arrange everything that I have. And I don't know if I'm gonna add like another main lead a little bit later on. Maybe I will, but what I'm thinking is I'm gonna take very heavy inspo from a Me Computer song and use the bass as kind of the main melody. And I'll show you what I mean right about now. Alright, I'll change that pattern up a little later, but I can tell that the idea does work. Hold on, I want to try something interesting. I wonder if there's any way to get that 1/3 delay on the bass, but only on, you know, the not bass, the part that's not bassy. And for this one, I kind of want to make the drums inside of the pattern. Let's do something different. Let's make it more fun. I can do one of those edits I used to do. And if I'm not mistaken, this feet thing, which is also delay, is in 1/3. That sounds about right. Totally forgot I can do panning now. Gonna mess around with all this. Probably just go ahead and pan like damn near every sound that I currently have. I think I should probably add a lot more delay to all these different hi-hats as well a little bit later, but as I said, I'll do that a little bit later. Alright, I think it's done. It's once again not my favorite, but I gotta say, like, this one is very, very different from what I usually make, and for that reason, I do kind of like it. It's pretty cool. But yeah. Peaceful world. Alright, I wanted to make a second one with the same idea, but a little slower in terms of the BPM. I feel like this first sound should be in 1/4, but the second sound I'm gonna add is gonna be in that other delay. This some other tech. And now we do this. You already know what I'm about to do with this. About to hit the good old reverse method. And yeah, the last two sounds don't use that 1/3 delay, but the reason why is because, you know, whenever you don't use it and use the 1/4, it kind of contrasts it, and you can create a different drum flow throughout. Alright, controller pad, and then the melody's done. This is what I mean, like this part can have a completely different drum flow. those are going to be like my main two drum patterns for now. And now I want to try and add an 808 to this. Yes, so the recording kind of like lagged out a little. It made my entire computer almost crash. That was very scary. But yeah, we're all good though. I think it's done. I basically just added cuts and then obviously ambiances as always. Also sidechain to the kick, or I guess the 808 more so. Basic ass master. And yeah, cool beat though. I think I've proved to myself that I'm not washed, at least kind of. So God bless.